As he said, my name is Jessica Kiser. I'm a preschool teacher at Allen Elementary, and the title of my grant is Conscious Discipline. Conscious discipline is overall a new approach to behavior. It's a management program in a social-emotional curriculum developed by Dr. Becky Bailey. It's designed to impact the lives of the adults first by providing us with strategies and the 7 powers needed to make a change in the lives of the students. It's also designed to change our perception and relationship with conflict to help us be proactive instead of reactive. It believes changing the adults' attitudes and behaviors must occur before you change that of the child's. It also emphasizes that we cannot teach behaviors and attitudes that we don't possess ourselves. My research question was, will the implementation of the program Conscious Discipline have a positive impact on my students' behavior? I wanted to know if the program would decrease challenging behaviors. So why Conscious Discipline? Well, I learned about this program while attending an early childhood training. I teach children aged 3 to 5, and behavior is the first thing that we teach, such as following classroom rules, sharing, interacting with others. Behaviors have become more difficult here in the last 3 years than, I don't know, they just have. But my current ways of addressing behaviors, they were not effective. I wasn't pleased with what I was currently using. I was spending too much time disciplining every day. And our current assessment data in my classroom shows my lowest developmental areas are manages feelings, forms relationships with adults, and responds to emotional cues. So not only are those above areas the lowest, but I think they're the 3 areas that must be worked on and improved before children can be expected to interact, socialize, share, or even learn. I mean, we have to target those behaviors before they are ready to engage in learning. So with the grant, these are the materials I got. These are the teacher resources. They're posters that we use as a visual aid to remind us. We have breathing technique pillows. We have the feeling buddies that help with recognizing feelings. We have a board that helps them name their feeling and then choose a strategy to help with it. And then we have the rug with the safe place that help to define the area. And this is what it looks like in my classroom. So it did a lot, but it really set aside a place that you go just to work on behaviors and social emotional issues. So how is conscious discipline going to improve the ways students manage emotions? Because it teaches that to them. Let's take a look at traditional discipline that we're familiar with compared to conscious discipline. With traditional discipline, you usually give a first warning, a second warning, a loss of privilege, or you call home to the parents. You move their card to red. You don't let them in the treasure box, and because you want them to comply with the rules. And that's fine for the kids that are loved at home and they come and they can just comply. But for those kids who are not loved or feel safe, they don't care what you take from them because it's already been, that's a view they have of the world. It doesn't interest them. So not only does it teach children what to do, it teaches them what not to do. Like when you talk to a child, you all say, you can't do that. You can't stand up. You can't run around the room. But it does, conscious discipline says you may use your walking feet. You may sit down. It teaches them what to do. So right from the start, it teaches students that they matter and that they have a voice. Conscious discipline has been shown to reduce discipline referrals and the negative climate of the school. Because if a child has that relationship with you, then they want to do good. They want to succeed for you. So the process of conscious discipline includes like a brain state model, the 7 powers for conscious adults, the school family, and the 7 skills of discipline, and then success. With the brain state model, you have the survival state where you will see kids that are fighting, biting, hitting, screaming, and conscious discipline gives you the tools to assist with that state and to get them to the emotional state where they're attention seeking, their clinginess to people also gives you tools to deal with that. And then the executive state is where we want them to be with the willingness and the reflection and empathy and problem solving. So that's where we want them to be. This program gives you the 7 powers for conscious disciplines, which is perception, which this was really hard for me, that no one can make you angry without your permission. So no one should be able to change your mood but you. So like I said, this was a really geared towards me and my staff and changing the way that we view behavior. Of course, there's attention, unity, free will, acceptance, love, and attention. Looking at my tab. The school family, it consists of teaching students a sense of belonging in the classroom by using classroom jobs, rituals. It builds relationships. The program also had 7 skills of discipline, which was composure, encouragement, assertiveness, choices, empathy, positive intent, and consequences. So the skills provide the problem-solving tools teachers need to transform everyday discipline issues into teaching moments. These moments are our opportunity to teach children the social, emotional, and communication skills necessary to manage themselves, resolve conflict, and develop pro-social behaviors. These 7 skills are the foundation for a problem-solving classroom. And then it just shows the resources that we have with the book. With the grant, there was emotion feelings that just helped them. We have the feeling buddies being used, the safe place rug. My biggest takeaways from this project. I have the power to change the way I view behaviors, to understand that behavior is something that is taught and should not be expected. That children have a right to strong feelings, to not share, to be left alone, and to work alone. Teaching is not about having authority. Fear does not build relationships. Conscious discipline empowers the child and gives them a voice to change behaviors. So will the back to my research question, I wanted to know if it would decrease the challenging behaviors. As you can see, this is my fall data, where I had 3 children were below 11 in meeting and 3 in exceeding. That was with manages feelings. With formed relationships, I had 3 below, 13 meeting, and 1 exceeding. Responds to emotional cues, 4 were below, 8 meet, and 5 exceed. And from our winter data, you can see there was much growth in all those areas. We still have those children that are still struggling, but those are typically the ones that have special needs or have IEPs for the social emotional. But still, overall, great improvement. Though I have seen a growth in every area, the area that improved the most was the relationship that I had with the kids. It pushed me as a teacher to examine how I approach, respond to, and interact with my students in regard to their behavior. Because of conscious discipline, my teaching skills, my mindset, my relationships with my students, they will never be the same. I now see behaviors in a new way, a form of communication and a chance to teach the children what is expected and how to behave and not to punish. If I was to do this project again, I would tell myself that not all things need to be implemented at once. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get it all going. It's a program where you can add as you go. It's basically a mindset that teachers need to be more conscious of how they handle behaviors. So as I continue to use conscious discipline, my goal is to implement more peer partnering and empower my students to have the ability to help others.